Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We hear a lot about Portugal and its attractiveness to startupists, and today we are going to learn about it with the best from Portugal, my friends Alberto and Nelson, and other colleagues of mine. Good morning, Alberto. Good morning, Nelson. And the floor is yours. We're all curious.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Let's
start the meeting.
I don't know if you have the presentation. I have to send this only the link. Just a minute, Stephan. Okay, okay. So I can share the screen. No.
Yes, you should be able to share the screen.
Not yet. It's not allowed. I don't know if you have the presentation also, and you can. Now I can. Now, yes, perfect. So let me put this on slideshow. Not yet.
Yes, MEIRA.
Okay.
BERNARDO, yes, MEIRA.
Okay, let me put this in slideshow and try to. You are not seeing presentation yet, no?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Nelson, can you share?
Now I can. Now it's able.
Oh, we can? Okay, excellent. Yes, now we can
Oh,
see.
no.
Excellent.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Let me see. It's not in the right slide, I think.
Let's start for the first one.
Yeah, but I'm not okay. We're seeing the first slide now.
Yes, we are seeing the first one.
Okay. So welcome everybody.
No, we can see. We see the invitation, the first slide, and you need to shut down one of the windows.
Like this?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Now.
No, not this
now
one.
Now it's your WhatsApp.
Okay.
You need to get in the presentation and then maximize for the whole ecran.
Yeah.
Put in the presentation mode, please. And
yes.
That will open all the.
Exactly. Now we see.
Yes, MEIRA.
Now we see. Okay.
Okay. So let me. But it's the first slide. Okay. Now it's the schedule, no?
The schedule.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, everybody. Sorry for these problems. I was in another link before this one, so I have changed some things. So today we'll start by presenting the advantages of investing in Portugal, and then we have some invitees to speak. Beatriz, Pedro, Bernardo, and Stephan. They are VC partners here in Portugal, and they will also present their investment funds. They will also talk a little bit about what they are looking for, and then of course we have some Q&A and the closing. First of all, the ecosystem here in Portugal, it's a network that it's illustrated here in this image. In the center, we have the startups and scale-ups that all of you are in. And of course, all around we have talent, knowledge, enablers, regulation and incentives, capital, corporations, and all the stakeholders that allows this to work in a system that includes the quality of life here in Portugal, the quality of the infrastructure here in Portugal in terms of universities, the public capital that it's also dedicated to this kind of enterprises, the business angels, the venture capital, the corporate venture capital, innovation catalysts, partnerships, all the customers that we can attract here in the Eurozone, R&D, universities, that we are now going to, in detail, to start explaining more or less. So Portugal is qualified in first place in terms of quality of life. International experts in 2019, the third most peaceful country in the world. It's placed in number 21 in terms of infrastructures. It's placed in 12 in the terms of connectivity, and it has 158 incubators. So the spending in GDP in terms of R&D, it's 1.4%. 2 business schools ranking on the top 25 best full-time MBAs in Europe. Ranked 28 in terms of global talent competitiveness. And we have 7 unicorns, 2,159 startups. So we have strong numbers to show you today. And then we also will distribute this presentation. So this starts with catalysts and enablers that are the incubators, the accelerators, and the other support programs that we have here in Portugal that follow the company's startups from pre-seed and seed and through early stage, and then to growth and scale-up phase. Also, we have co-working spaces here in Portugal, mentorship programs, and a lot of events during the year, every week, every day, that also all the startups, all the ecosystem here in Portugal can benefit from. The odds of becoming a unicorn here in Portugal are getting bigger. We have 7 unicorns here, Farfetch, that it's 14 billion equity value in the stock market United States, Talkdesk 10 billion, OutSystem, Anchorage Digital, FedZai, Sword Health and Remote. I'm sure you have already heard from some of these success cases we have here. And others lining up like Venium, Uniplaces, Sensei, Unbubble, Aptoid, Stratio, that also are good cases to show you about unicorns and startups with success, Portuguese startups with success. So in 2020, we had these 2,159 startups, which is above the average number of startups per capita in Europe. So Portugal is a fashionable place and not only a travel destination, but also a tech place. So this, you see, we talk here about quality of life, the sun, the sea, cost of labor, and specialized talent. That all, of course, have something to do with these success cases we have and we are showing now. The Portuguese startup profile, we have 75% of the startups are B2B business model driven. Small market, the Portuguese small market is small. We have 10 million people living in Portugal. So some startups even prioritize USA markets in their business plans, and they are born global. So of course, the European market for us is a domestic market also. You can trade with no limitation. And the size in terms of people employed, it's 8.8 on average. In terms of the average between Portugal and Europe, we have 52% of the distribution of startups, and Europe is 47%. So we compare well with in seed and startup stage with the European average, and with the stable stage also, which is a good indicator. Regional startups split here. You can see the Portuguese map. We have Lisbon in the center with 18% of the startups, and where is the capital of the country. And then we have also Porto with 19%. It's the second largest city. But in the south, in Algarve, we also have 11%. In the center, 24%, and the north, 24%. So you can see that we have the startups well distributed around the country, with several hubs, startup hubs like Coimbra, Aveiro, Porto, Madeira also. So that's a good story also that we can share. The Web Summit, of course, it's a very important event here in Portugal. OECD says Portugal was the second most open country for foreign direct investment in the world. Portugal is considered strong innovator by the European Commission. Portugal ranked in 25 out of 161 in the best countries for business, etc. Forbes and world's leading destinations winning award in 2017, 18, 19, and 2020. And Portugal was the first in quality of life for expats in 2019. Lisbon was the third best city for expats in 2020. So I think these indicators tell a lot about what you can expect when you come to Portugal. Here we say that we are very well located. We are close to the United States. We are close to Spain, to France, to Germany, to Italy. We have direct flights to Israel. We have direct flights to Brazil. Portugal is a hub in the North Atlantic Sea, in between America and Europe. And so we belong to the Eurozone. So we have a geostrategic position in between these continents and also Africa. We have a strong relation with Angola, Mozambique, other Portuguese-speaking countries, and also connections by flight, by boat. So it's also very important to highlight this. Good means of transport across country and to the world, 36 efficient of seaport services, and 6 major international seaports in Portugal. This is very important when you are talking about industry and exports or imports of raw materials. Railroad density, number 31, number 8 in terms of road infrastructure, second best roads of all 28 countries according to the EU Transport Scoreboard. That it's of course very impressive. And we are in number 21 in the world with better infrastructures. In terms of connectivity, we are also number 12 in terms of connectivity. We have mobile 4G, we have 5G in the main cities and all around the country, which is also very important to do business. You can travel and have internet everywhere. Promoting the digitalization of business, this is the agenda here in Portugal. You can interact with the government to do every kind of registers, licensing, by internet. We have web portals. We have lots of hubs that you can use as an entrepreneur to do your business in a easy way that you can access globally. And also this network of incubators and accelerators. Startups Lisboa, BETA-I, IPN, Damian, Fintech House, BGI, it's a partnership with MIT, UPTech, Startup Braga. All these incubators, they work in network, so you can enter these incubators. They will share with you all kinds of information about programs, incentives, contacts to hire personnel. You can talk to other companies that are developing projects, and you can develop also experience with them. Try to find investors, try to find customers, try to find partners. So this is a very important aspect also. And we have incentives to welcome foreign investment. That's an important also aspect here.
I think this is a very important aspect that if you can say a few words, maybe you, maybe the others that follow you.
Okay.
It's very important because it's they have also financial incentives for the foreign investors. In Portugal, we have, for example, the Golden Visa. It's a program for foreigners who want to have residence in Portugal. It's not only for investors, but also for ordinary people who want to come to Portugal. We have also other investors or investment programs focused mainly in research and development. And the name of that program is CFID. The CFID is a program, and we have at the moment, I think, 500 million euros to co-invest in startups, mainly in startups who do research and development. You have a Portuguese agency called ANI, Portuguese Agency for Innovation. This agency supports this program, the CFID program. It's a co-program between Portugal and the European Union. And so this is a great opportunity for foreigners investments who want a co-investment leader in Portugal. And at the moment, Alberto, I think it is 500 million euros available to invest in new companies who do research and development in Portugal. Imagine if you want to build a innovative hub, we have the financial mechanisms to do the investment. That is the main and the most important program in Portugal for startups and to scale companies in Portugal at this moment.
Thank you, Nelson. If you can put your LinkedIn link on the chat, so the audience will be able to get in touch with you later on with respect to this very important aspect. Thank you.
Alberto, you can.
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you. And we also have some guests that will talk with you in a couple of minutes to present their VC funds. And besides these funds, we also have these programs that help external investment to come to Portugal in terms of tax incentives. You benefit from a flat rate of 20% of tax for 10 years. We also have a Golden Visa program that if you invest in Portugal, you get a visa to be in Portugal. We have also programs for digital nomads to come to Portugal. They elect Portugal as a main destination to work nowadays, and all these will help you to grow here in Portugal. This is a slide where you have the Road to F Summit, Tech Visa, Operation Follow-up, the description of all the programs, the main programs we have here in Portugal, e-residency, ZLT. I will then share this information, this presentation with you. Startup visa, the government gives also an incentive and a grant, the European Union and Portuguese government, to startups that are coming to Portugal, that are borrowing in Portugal. It's also very important. And we have no restriction to foreign capital entry here. So that's also very important. Intellectual property rights are protected. Competition and antitrust laws are also in place here. We have ISEP, that it's a public institute that helps foreign companies to come to Portugal. And we have a regulatory system that is transparent and helps the development of security markets, finance, and health, in telecommunications. Then workers' earnings and taxes. Here you have an example of national minimum salary in Portugal in 2020, 665 euros. We have also here the value amount that you pay in terms of compensations and taxes, that it's very competitive with other countries in the European Union. Talent in Portugal, we have the best talent in Europe. We have in terms of universities, so we are in 28th in the ranking of the global competitiveness index. We have high proficiency in terms of English. It's also very important. So we are number 7 out of 88 countries in terms of English proficiency. And in terms of the Global Innovation Index, we are in 32 in terms of in 121 countries, and in number 14 knowledge impact. Also very important. Here, the number of foreign graduates, you see it's around 600 foreign graduates here in Portugal, growing every year. And we also are attracting, our schools and universities are attracting students from all over Europe and all over the world to Portugal now, from United States, from Brazil, from Germany, all over the places. The students select Portugal to do their studies, and then they can enter in the startups, in the projects here in Portugal. So it's a good source of talent also. You see the cost of talent in Portugal is below the European Union average, and we compare well with Greece, with Spain, and other countries. It's also very important when you decide to come to Portugal. This is an example of the wide range of educational institutions and courses in the areas of science and technology here. Nova, Porto, Lisboa, Aveiro, Coimbra, Isqueté, Católica. In terms of number of students, you can see in the huge number of students we have. And some examples of companies international companies that have shifted their headquarters to Portugal: Volkswagen, Mercedes, Natixis, Mastercard, Siemens, Nokia, Vestas. Around 140 companies have installed about 158 services centers in Portugal, and 92% are from foreign companies. We have Revolut, Google, Bosch, lots of examples of companies that are selecting Portugal. Here it's an important slide about the capital. Nelson also told you about. We have public incentives. We have business angels, venture capital, and also corporations investing in startups along this process of ignition, seed, early stage, and growth. We have here the role of public capital here in Portugal is also very important in terms of startup and pre-seed and seed. We have Portugal Ventures. We have this program, 200 million. This is a program that begins in the Web Summit to co-invest with international VCs that want to invest in Portuguese startups.
That is very important.
Yes.
Besides CFID program also.
Okay. Here we compare with other countries in terms of global peace. We are in third place. In terms of quality of life, we are in number 1. In terms of infrastructure, number 21. Fixed broadband subscription, 39. Trading across borders, number 1. So it's of course openness to FDI, regulatory restrictiveness index, number 2. And then the gross domestic expenditure on R&D in terms of GDP. We see here, for instance, Israel spending 4.9, Portugal spending 1.4, and Spain 1.2. And this is why Nelson explained we have these VC funds that are aiming to invest in companies, startups with R&D strong investment because Portugal wants to increase their spend of GDP in R&D. And so the Portuguese government is also helping these companies coming to Portugal. The Global Talent Competitiveness Index, we are also in number 28. Israel is in number 20. So World Talent Ranking, we are in number 26. Language skills, number 7. Percentage of graduates from science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we are in number 39% of, and TEIXEIRA student inflow, foreign students enrolled 80%. You see it's double of Spain, for instance. And startups, scale-ups, we are in number 12. And the number of startups per 100,000 inhabitants, you have to 21. Israel, it's startup nation, it's 24. So, and the capital invested in startups as a percentage of GDP, we have 0.07%, and Israel is 2%. So we show here that we are already very well placed in terms of some KPIs, indicators. In others, we are, of course, investing as a country to improve, and that's why it's the moment, I think, the right moment to invest in Portugal. We have a historical legacy of people that embrace other cultures and are used to dealing with immigrating and doing business with other countries. That it's important also in our culture. Great in welcoming foreigners, and where the Golden Visa program has gathered unanimous approval as key facilitator, where people generally like to help and are quiet and is using other languages. It is then no surprise the country's connection to the rest of the world with privileged bridges to relevant markets like Brazil, Angola, and all other Portuguese-speaking countries, where the weather is great, gastronomy and wine are nice, with plenty of outdoor leisure activities to choose from. All in all, providing a very balanced and nice place to live and raise a family at a very efficient value for money. So we are at 5.5 hours away from New York. We are in the same time zone as the United Kingdom. located halfway in between USA, Latin America, and Africa, with remarkably good infrastructure, with prevalent 4G communications, and practically everywhere in the country. In a not too big territory where it's easy to get around and to cover. You can, in one day, you can cross all the country by car. Fully integrated in the European single market with 450 million consumers and 22.5 million small and medium businesses. A stable democracy providing a business-friendly and safe environment. Modern, super international, and cosmopolitan meeting point, intellectually and culturally interesting. So the main reasons to install a company in Portugal: first, on hospitality, sixth safest country in the world, the #1 country more friendly for expats, top 10 MIPEX of countries with better integration policies for migrants, 300 sunny days per year, 900 kilometers of littoral coast, average temperature of 15 Celsius degrees, and free educational and health systems. It's very, very important for hire, and also if you want to bring family with you, for your family and kids. #2, infrastructure. It's the 11th country with better fiber network, 28th faster country in broadband internet, and the program of tech visa and green card for entrepreneurs and qualified talent. Here you can see in startupportugal.com the 23 programs that are now available for you. And third, the talent. We have 7 unicorns and plus some others on the way. 7th place on the English Proficiency Index. 2nd country on Eurozone on the 4th trimester of 2021. The ID ecosystem matched 1% of GDP. The European host of Web Summit. That's the 4th aspect. The 5th aspect, tax exemption for non-residents, flex tax rate for 10 years, and tax exemption for stock options and cryptocurrency. We don't pay tax here in Portugal on Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, and also for stock options you can receive in your companies. We have here the contacts. Itai, I will also share my LinkedIn in the...
Already did it, so it's there. It's on the chat.
Okay, perfect. So I think we can also invite our guests to present themselves and talk a little about their funds. We have here Beatriz Souza Rocha from C2, that I think is in
the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
Hi,
Hello, good morning, Beatriz.
Hello, good morning. Hello, so first of all, thank you for the invitation to talk a little bit with you today. Can I also share a brief presentation about C2?
Alberto, you need to stop sharing your
Okay.
Please.
I'm not okay. Done.
Can you see mine now?
Yeah, it's starting now.
Yes.
Oh, not the not the presentation, but all your face.
Okay. Let me try again. And now?
Yes, we can see it now.
You can see it now.
Okay, so I'm Beatriz. I work at C2 Capital Partners. C2 is a private equity fund, Portuguese. It is in the market since 2009. We have a team with 18 members, and I'm a part of the investment team. We have around 700 million of capital raised, focused mainly in Portuguese investments. This capital is raised with 700 more or less investors, mainly Portuguese, but also we have some foreigners. As Alberto and Nelson already told you, we have a program focused in golden visa, and we have a fund that is that can also be qualified for golden visa. And so we have also some foreign investors in our funds. We have now around 400 million of capital invested in 70 companies since the beginning of our activity. This is split in 11 funds. The three first blocks that you see on the slide are funds that were totally invested in SMEs, Portuguese companies, multi-sector. So these are funds where we have already invested in the companies, where we help them grow, and some of them we have already sold our participation. So we have already exited our investments, either to other funds, to other strategic companies, or to the founders who wanted to be the whole shareholders again. Then we have a CFIT fund that was already spoken about today. On the CFIT funds, is this block C2 R&D growth. We have 276 million euros at the moment. We are working with this fund since 2018, and we have already more or less 50% of the funds invested, but we still have the other 50 available to invest in new companies for the next 5-6 years. And I'm going to speak a little bit more about our investment strategy here. But just to finish here these funds, then we have a fund that is also in a phase where we are investing, that's MET Capital, and this one is focused in the healthcare sector. So mainly hospitals, clinics in Portugal, and other business related to healthcare. So these two funds, the R&D growth and the MET Capital, are the two where we have money available at the time to make new investments. In the R&D, we still have around 100 million available. Since the beginning, we have been, so our targets are Portuguese companies that have a high R&D percentage in their investment projects. The R&D is, it can be a lot of things, but it's basically if you have a new product, a new process, something new that you're going to develop, we are interested in looking to the project to see if we can invest. All of our other companies we invest have to be certified by the agency that was also already talked about today. That's ANI, Agência Nacional de Inovação. And after that certification, we are we can go forward with our investments. So our targets here, we have actually it's not only one fund. We have 6 funds here with different investment strategies. And we have funds that are focused more in SMEs companies, so companies that already have some cash flow, some EBITDA, basically higher than 500 million is our is a target. But also we are looking for startups, mainly digital startups, fintech startups, that are now starting their projects here in Portugal, that have a high R&D projects. And so these are our 2 our two targets at the moment. Then we also have the Med Capital, where we have still 300 million available to invest. And here we look, as I was saying, more to hospitals and to clinics, but also we can look to some startups that are related to the healthcare sector. Until now, we have already invested in a hospital and also in a small company with a business, a new business here in Portugal. For you to have an idea, this is our portfolio at the moment. So we are multi-sector. Portugal is a small market, so it's very difficult to be focused in one sector. So we have from restaurants to hotels to industrial companies to some technology. The ones that are highlighted with the red are the investments that we have already done with these R&D funds. So mostly industrial and some technology. And the last line are the exits we already done. So the companies we have already sold from our portfolio. Quickly, this is C2 and what we are looking for at the moment and what we are available to invest at the moment. I know that you are, or at least for now, you are not Portuguese companies, but you can be. As soon as you have installed a company in Portugal, we are available to look for a potential investor in a business. And that's why we thought it would be interesting to speak with you today. Alberto has my contacts and it will share with you. So feel free to reach out if you want to know a little bit more about this. And if there are any questions, I'm also available.
Thank you. Thank you, Beatriz. I will also put your LinkedIn in the chat. And after hearing the other VCs also today, we can also have a moment of Q&A, so we can also ask some questions to Beatriz. And then I have Pedro Appleton that also will present CEDRUS Capital, so an investor, Portuguese investor. And I think he's already online, Pedro.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I just mute. So first of all, I'm sorry, I'm traveling in Portugal, so I stopped to make this presentation, and so I will not be zooming with the video. So I'm going to present the CEDRUS only orally. Okay. So CEDRUS Capital is a much smaller private equity company, much more recent. We founded the company 2 years ago, roughly. And we also joined this program of R&D incentives via funds. So today we have a fund with 28 million euros for R&D investments. We have already 2 investments made in 2 industrial groups, and we are looking to invest the remaining fund, which now represents around 16 million. So we have 16 million euros available for investment in R&D projects in Portugal. So we mainly look for, in foreign companies, we mainly look for either subsidiaries of strong companies that are setting up R&D hubs in Portugal. As Alberto explained in this presentation, Portugal is a very attractive place to set up R&D hubs. Mainly through to the human resources we have, the tax policies we have for foreigners, etc. and so it is very attractive, and we'd like to finance this type of projects in this company. So this is mainly our focus. We are available also for companies that want to move to Portugal, not as a pure R&D hub, but that they have relevant R&D content in their activities, because our funds need to be invested in R&D activities. So this is what we do. We structure our financing in different ways. We favor venture debt more than equity, but we are flexible to negotiate the type of financing that's suitable for the activities. This is mainly what we do in R&D. We have in total, CEDRUS has 65 million under management in other areas. But R&D, this is what we do, and this is what we've been doing. I don't know if there's a lot of other things that I can present right now. I think that Alberto will share our contacts and our links, and then we are obviously interested in meeting potential investors and companies that want to come to Portugal.
Okay. We'll also share the LinkedIn profile here. And we have also Bernardo MEIRA with us. Bernardo, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning, everyone. I will share my screen.
We can see you, Bernardo.
Yes, now you will see my screen. Are you?
Oh yeah, we can see now your presentation.
Good. Well, BLUECROW is financial services company. We have been set up since 2011, and we are spread out through venture capital and private equity, which represents 84% of our business, and asset management, which represents 16% of the total of our business. We have around 450 million under management, spread out through 12 funds. 60% is invested, and we have over 1,000 clients. Between private equity and venture capital, we are more or less equally. Private equity is a little bit higher, and we have a portfolio company around circa 30 companies in our portfolio. Asset management is very focused on Switzerland. We have our main clients are based in that country, spread out through 16 family offices. The company BLUECROW Capital is owned by, is controlled mostly and largely by our executive management team, which I also am included. Focused on venture capital, which is the main topic of this conversation. We have 12 investments spread out through the country. We are basically under 4 or 5 main sectors, from sustainable food, biotech, medtech, robotics and engineering, and information communications technologies. We have all these investments at the moment are just logos, but we would like just to make this to make note that we are trying to cover as much as the country, and under these main sectors. Our deal size is up at the moment, is up to 20 million. We like to invest in early stage companies. Our investment period optimally is up to 5 years. We invest under a mix of equity and quasi-equity, and mandatory requirements like my fellow peers in this conversation. We also require, it's legal, it's mandatory requirements. We need R&D eligibility. We need also estimates of R&D projects, and the company needs to be based in Portugal. And we have at the moment circa 90 million euros available for investment. Now, focusing on the type of businesses we have, you can see at the top level, regardless of the name, we have from top left, it's a company focused on automobile process engineering and testing. So it's a company that provides services for automotive constructions. Then we have a company from artificial intelligence developments. It's basically digital call centers. They provide and they set up, build and apply digital call centers for any type of business. At the moment, they are more focused on banking, telecoms, and health services, but they can bespoke. They can provide bespoke, tailor-made solutions. Also, linked to this type of business, we also have robotic solutions with to basically provide services to optimize the processes of the plants. It enhances and optimizes the efficiency of a plant. We also have a company with AJVT, that is a company that also, like Enartin, is very similar. They provide services for customer experience. Silico Life is a biotech company. They want to set up optimized food. Basically, it's a synthetic biotechnology company, which basically they try to make seeds. They produce seeds, optimal seeds that provide more healthier food through synthetic biotechnology. Foretech is an engineering company, pure engineering company, providing services also for the industrial manufacturing processes. They are all in the north of Portugal. In the center of Portugal, we have clams in Nazareth. It's a nursery of clams. Then we have also a company that it's precision medicine for liver cancer. This company builds tests and diagnosis for transplant of liver. Left Medpax is cold sealing. When we go to the hospital, there are the instruments in emergency, like syringes, all types of scissors. They are inside a vacuum package. That packaging is sealed with our glue. It's basically we glue the paper, and it's sealed, and it can hold the sterilized instruments up to 5 years. And you can see BGW is a carbon plant. We produce carbon, and it's carbon, vegetable carbon, zero pollution. And we also have insects in the center of Portugal. We produce insects for fertilizers, and food, animal food, based in insects, the black soldier fly. In the south, we have the farm, open sea farm in Lagos, where we grow the clams. So in the center of Portugal, we have the nursery, we have the maternity where the clams are born, and then they grow up in the south. We also have a cold storage warehouse and sea bass and sea bream fish farm. So as you can see, we are well spread out through the country. We are available to meet and analyze solutions and projects that are within this spectrum. It's where we like to invest, and I will be available to receive your ideas. That's it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bernardo. We have a guest, our guest Stephan Morais. I also shared here information about Stephan here in the chat, and Stephan is also a founder partner of INDICO Capital, also has funds under management to pursue targets of startups with R&D stronger asset activity. And also Stephan also was part of the government investment agency for a long time, so he knows very well this ecosystem. So I think, Stephan, are you online, Stephan? Let me see if he is. I think he's not available. Stephan.
So we can jump to the Q&A, I think.
Okay. Yes, I think we can jump to the Q&A, and if Stephan then can enter, we can get his presentation. Okay.
He is in the room, but I think that he's just on mute.
Okay, I will. Let's jump to the Q&A, and I will, if he then can talk. Okay, so Itai will share. Itai, you can then share the presentation I have made. Stephan.
Yes. Hi.
Oh, now is Stephan here.
Hi, Stephan.
I'm sorry. I got a call regarding a deal, so I was speaking with Early Bird in Germany. But thank you so much for having me. I'll be very quick. I'm going to try to share here my screen. Let me see where I can do that, so that I can basically go through the slides very quickly. I see there's like 40 people or so. Can you see my slides?
Yeah, we could see.
Okay. That's great. That's great. So INDICO, we are, a pure venture capital firm. We invest in companies that aim to be global category leaders at their chosen industry. We basically ask the companies, whether they want to, what is the problem that they're solving? Why are they better 10 times than anybody else out there? What's the size of the market, and whether these people are the right people or not? We have about 140 million under management in two buckets, I would say. The tech bucket, and then we have also a recent fund, a 50 million fund for climate tech and ocean. In the tech side, we invest in Portuguese and Spanish-based companies, or companies that have a significant presence in Portugal and Spain, that want to expand globally from 100,000 euros to 10 million. So we go from pre-seed to Series B, typically. And on the Blue Fund, we invest up to 5 million in mostly tech or biotech companies that also have a significant exposure to Portugal, that have R&D here. We have investors in these funds from all over the world, from the European Investment Fund to multiple institutional and family offices, particularly a lot of US investors, but also a lot of European investors and some Portuguese as well, mostly private capital. This is a team. We're 11. It's like a football team. Everybody plays a different part and a different position. My fellow general partners are Cristina, who founded one of the 2 Portuguese decacorns in Silicon Valley. The other partner used to work with me at a fund inside a bank where we both came from. And then other partners, we've known each other for many years, and the whole team, basically, we've known everybody for quite some time. And we are normally lead investors, almost always lead investors, at least until Series A, but very happy to share deals. The portfolio currently has 28 companies. Originally there were 34, but currently active are 28. We have invested about 40 million in those companies, and they have now raised 1.7 billion euros. So we have 3 unicorns in our current portfolio. You know, the Blue Fund just started about a year ago, so there's 3 companies, and the Opportunity Fund also just started, which invests in the top companies from the main venture VC1. And then we have an acceleration fund, as I was mentioning, which is a partnership with Google, where we do, you know, 100K to 500K tickets, which is a precursor to the main fund. So essentially, we have co-invested with all the good and great around the world, you know, from Sequoia to Andreessen to Mubadala, Index, and so on and so forth. These are our co-investment partners. We are essentially the suppliers of VC material from Portugal to Silicon Valley and to London. That's basically what we are. We are the people that do the first stages, and then a little bit like the Israeli model, the Portuguese companies go global from day one, at least our companies. They go global from day one, and the Portuguese unicorns, of which we've had 6 unicorns in our track record. One of them is founded by Cristina. And so basically these are companies that go global from day one. They're Portuguese American normally. And that's why we attract a lot of capital from all over the world, all the big names that you know of. This gives you a sense of deal flow sourcing. It's now actually about 3,000 companies in the last 4 years. So we invest in about 1% of the things that we see. These are all tech, pure startups. So not industrial, not hardware, not even biotech. This is, you know, tech, software, mostly I'd say B2B software, SaaS companies, AI, stuff like that. We're partners with Google for startups in Portugal, particularly for the Acceleration Fund, which is that pre-seed program we have. We've been partners with them for a long time. It's a successful partnership when we do a lot of things together. We're also signatories of Principles for Responsible Investment. We were one of the first global funds on the early stage to adhere to PRI. And now with our Blue Fund, we're also members of UNEP Finance Initiative and several other sustainability and ocean-related organizations, and actually part of the steering committee of several of these organizations. So I guess in a nutshell, and very quickly, we are, you know, a very classical Silicon Valley style VC. We invest between 100,000 and 10 million. We've been very fortunate over the last decade to have been involved in 6 unicorns, and our companies have raised 1.7 billion. So we're very happy to look at deals of companies that are here, Portugal or Spain. So even if they're from Israel, they'd have to have a significant presence here. And if they are or want to be global category leaders.
Perfect. I think that's perfect. Itai, we are running now out of time, so I will leave you the word so you can do the final speak. Yeah. I think you are in mute. Okay.
Yes. I think that maybe we have some questions or from the audience, and if not, of course, the contact info is on the chat, so everyone can ask directly anyone any question. I will ask the question. You were talking about new companies that would start a business in Portugal. How about an Israeli startup that would launch a subsidiary in Portugal for R&D? Is it a legitimate investment for you?
For us, it's okay, as long as we have significant presence here and we have an influence over management. So we're very active investors. We're normally board members, sometimes observers, but normally board members. And it's as long as there is significant influence on management and significant presence here, it's fine. And for our tech funds, we don't care if there's R&D here or not. We don't have that kind of tax break capital. We have institutional capital, but for us, it's important to be very, very active in Portugal, and we can be very active also.
How about Beatriz and Bernardo? How is it from your end?
Yes, for us, if you want to focus the R&D in Portugal, for us is enough. Even if it is a subsidiary, obviously we will have to have some contact with some arrangement with the Israeli company. But our investment has to be in the R&D that it is in Portugal. Then we are flexible to do the arrangements that it's suitable for both.
Yes, on top of it, it has to be recognized eligible. It has to go to the innovation agency to obtain the eligibility stamp, and also the technology and the assets need to be developed in Portugal.
Excellent. So I think we can conclude the session unless there is a question from the audience.
Yes, there's a question from Ido. I just posted it in the chat.
About tourism, it's an important sector. It's growing fast. So you have grants from Portuguese government to finance the investments you do here, and that can be investments in hardware, in hotels, in construction structure, or also you can do companies that are based on software. They do reserves, or they do other applications for hotels or for tourism. I think Itai is also very well known about these programs here in Portugal, because he was also invited by the Portuguese government to help developing the Tourism 3.0 and digital agenda for tourism. And yes, you can get also financing at 40, 50, 60%. It depends where the project is located in the country, and also depends on the size of the project and everything, and what kind of impact the project will have in terms of employees and everything. We can arrange you, of course, you contacts and detailed explanations about the concrete project. But yes, there are grants for tourism projects. Yes.
Alberto, can I say something? We have in Portugal a public fund, a specific public fund, who co-invests in tourism projects only. If you want the contact, we have a very, very good relations with them, but it's a semi-public fund who invests only in tourism assets. Okay.
Excellent. So I think it's time to say goodbye. Thank you very much, my really good friends from Portugal.
Thank you
and
very
my
much.
colleagues from Israel, the entrepreneurs, and hope to see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
everyone.
much.
Thank you.